Hey, welcome back. Speculations. The more you speculate, the more those that you say don't have power over you, or the more those that you know are tortfeasors, the more they get comfortable in what they do, the more time is wasted, the more of the same amount of energy that you could put into functional things beyond speculations, the more that time and energy is wasted. But even more important, those who you purport to hold liable, their culture, their intent, their ability and influence is getting stronger and stronger while you speculate. Speculation feels good, and most people who find information of these natures speculate because truthfully, deep down, they are afraid. Nothing wrong with fear. It's all right. Deep down, most people, regardless of whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 40s, 30s, or 20s, whether you're young, dumb, full of cum, whether you're old and wise, according to your understanding of perception of what you think your experience in reality is that makes you special, most people who come across information of this nature, deep down, are afraid to function with it. Therefore, they use speculation and talking on the side as a comfort mechanism, when in truth, nothing is changing around them. They are not fixing their own issues. And when they do somehow find a means to fix their issues, they don't want to dedicate sufficient amount of energies into it. They don't want to listen. They don't want to reflect, and they do not want to shed the previous state of mind that they have held into that is keeping them in a stage of speculation. Speculate all you want, not an issue. Speculation is a necessity. It's a necessary stage. Speculation and deliberation are the same thing. You have to deliberate. You have to surmise what would happen if this occurs. You have to plan. You have to strategize. You must be tactful. Speculation is a very small aspect of tact, strategy, and deliberation. A very small aspect that most people take and spread throughout the board as the primary essence of what they're doing. By virtue of that, they get stuck in that same stage and never act upon anything. And when they do act on it, they do things deliberately that they know will really not amount to anything. See, people, humans, are very intelligent. When people are introduced to certain information, they know whether that information is going to work or not. They know whether that information is what they have been seeking or not. Most people, when they come across speculations, they accept it in the hope that even though it is not what is going to assist them, they just hope and pray it nonetheless works. It's that moment, if you've ever played any sport, it's like that moment that you enter into that you know, no matter how far you are from whatever goal you are, whatever sport, you just know that now is that moment where you just do it. Hence, like Nike, the goddess, where the verbiage just do it comes from when it's been branded. It's that zone. It's referring to that specific zone. And things of this nature, you have the ability intrinsically. It matters not what level or degree you're in. If you're starting off afresh, or you've been doing this for 4, 6, 12 years, you're able to see certain types of information and listen to certain things and know that this is where it is. Other information, you just entertain yourself with it. Most people would rather stay in the realm of entertainment because they've been conditioned into just being limited to entertainment, so much so that they carry that same state of mind here into things and information of this nature. They seek the perpetuity of entertainment because truly they are afraid. It's okay to be afraid. It is all right to be afraid, but shed that fear and use that fear as fuel. Fear is just a fuel that's misguided into the wrong direction. You can be doing this and studying things of this nature for 12 and 20 years. But it is very possible that despite all those years that you spend studying, you are still in the preliminary stages. All men are not made equal, and one must first be willing to accept that and look at the totality of circumstance beyond how they personally feel. Because at some point, somewhere on the other hand, people with lower intelligence quota than you are aligning themselves with a cause that they don't know much about and they don't care for, because it doesn't require that much deductive reasoning to follow instructions, culture, hypnosis, and conditioning to make that commission on their paychecks to just make a living that will support their addictions. They don't care much. But you, though, what you're doing with information of this nature, it requires a lot of self-responsibility. It requires a lot of shedding. It requires a lot of non-speculative aspect of life. Speculate, deliberate, strategize, and plan towards being tactful. But don't let speculations, a very small part of all those attributes, be the primary and the sole thing that will get you lost in the sauce. And if that happens, those on the other end get more comfortable, and that's exactly what they want. They will deal with you with impunity because they don't know these information and they don't care to know this information. But guess what? They have been conditioned to hear certain buzzwords and react to it in a manner very much like everybody loves the analogy of Matrix, right? They are all pre-programmed to behave a certain way. And if you, the one who say that you're trying to get out of the Matrix, if you do not know the algorithm to this reality and the one that they exist in, you will be fucked. They will screw you over so much so that you will give up. You will give up and become one of them, or you will be deleted. Either way, however it ends, it's your choice. And it is all right, no matter what the choice is. But start with the beginning stages of not being speculative. Remove speculations in what you're doing. Actually seek knowledge beyond the introductory things. Every time you watch that movie that everybody liked to use as an analogy, you watch it, they go into the Matrix, there's always a very consistent pattern of them pulling out firearms. You know what those firearms refers to? The firearm is a phallic symbol. The energy of activity. The energy, that goal force of being able to do something, take an action beyond speculation. That's what it means whenever they get into firefights and all that moving, the series of Matrix. It's telling you the block gets hot. Something inside of you has to get hot to do something. But wisdom, knowledge, and the proper intent to not be speculative and to not be impulsive is what will guide that fire to get things done properly. Remove the speculation and the cliche and the typical interpretation of, oh yeah, this is the Matrix, this and that, red and blue pill. Look at the actual similitude of what they're giving to you, the keys. It's important. Information is the key. Speculation is not where it's at. There are many loopholes, and you will never even figure out the slightest loophole if you remain speculative. Get out of the world of speculation. Get out of the world of buzzwords. Really begin to function. The greatest fear that the other side has against you seeking information and truth is actually beginning to function with it. See, there are two main things, two main attributes that a bully heavily relies on in order to accomplish his or her goal. Those people on the other end, there are two main things they rely on. Very, very simple things. One is your lack of willingness to actually act, meaning you must remain speculative and you must not do anything. And two is your lack of knowledge, meaning you must not know better. If you don't know any better, you can't do better. You can only be what you know. If you speculating on what you can do and what they're not and what they can't do and they don't have jurisdiction and that this doesn't occur and that doesn't occur, everything is commercial, all that stuff, they are correct when they tell you to blabber. Why wouldn't they be? Why would they not be comfortable to look at you and tell you that's a blabber, even though they themselves don't know any better? Because you're still speculative. You're stuck on that degree. But you know better, right? So do better.